Lizzie reaches her hand out to Gabriella, completely unaware of what is behind her, and says, Charlene Elizabeth Amesley. You can call me Lizzie.
Oh, you're related to Gabriella Slaughter. I knew your family, I think, or something pretending to be your family. And before I was possessed by something and killed, I guess is a better word, killed my landlady, I'm a practicing psychoanalyst. Not sure how well that's gonna stick, what with the witnesses of a murder I just did. And I look over at the, terrified families.
You look over at where the terrified families were,
Ah.
and you see they are no longer terrified families.
What are they?
Hey, you see how that's worse, right? You see how that's worse, right?
You see like a yellow mist above them
I don't like that.
as their flesh begins to rot in front of your eyes.
Oh,
boy.
Everybody roll me a sanity check.
oh, this again. I knew. I didn't know it was
That's a
going to come
failure.
back. What with the whole memory removal, but
Yeah, no, I fail.
oh, that's big fail right there.
1, 2, 3.
Woo!
Full party failure.
Welcome to the mental circus.
Yeah. Spectacular defeat.
We're all just having a time. Well, I mean,
It's a bad day.
Lucky for you guys, it's only 1d4 plus 1. So if you guys just roll that, and as long as you don't get a 5, you don't have another bout of madness like Gabriella did. Although Gabriella, your next one's gonna be a longer one.
Ooh, I got a 3.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I got a 4, so just under.
I got a 1.
Woo!
Alright, go ahead and denote that on y'all's character sheets. Freddy?
Just 2. That's not terrible.
It's a creeping dread. You all drop whatever's in your hands at this point. Lizzie, your hand starts to tremble and the gun comes out of the holster and drops on the ground. It goes off and it shoots one of the fathers of the family in the head, and the skull just kind of rolls onto the ground. Amesley.
What do you want with me? She's freaking out. I'm not happy.
Slaughter.
Oh, that one's me.
Slaughter.
Freddy's picking up the dropped weapons, by the way, and handing them back to people. Just glaring and holding the knife, shaking probably.
Newman.
Yeah, Take the knife back? Oh, that's not good.
Lazarus.
Finley grits his teeth, biting down real hard.
Right, I never told any of you my name. How the
Bosco.
fuck do they know that?
Wait, Bosco. Hey. I get really defensive all of a sudden and move in front of Bosco. You don't get to. No!
As you get defensive, you see this shambling hulk reach out of the darkness and pull itself into the room with you. It towers over you about 8 feet tall.
Oh, fuck.
Right.
It's at this point that you hear die as you see this yellow mist start to float away from it towards you all.
Time to
Yeah,
run.
is there anywhere to run?
Yeah, you can run out of the air raid shelter.
Is the air raid still happening?
It seems to have calmed down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, no. That's fine.
Yeah,
I don't want to stick
fuck
around.
this. Fuck
God
you.
damn it,
Lord.
Grandpa!
Books it.
As Finley takes off running.
Out now.
And I think as Gabriella takes off running, next to Finley, it's just so when I mentioned that things with your grandfather involved nightmares beyond imagination, it was sort of like that.
Right, let's talk him more
Take
running.
off running.
We're talking as we run.
Alright, and as you guys get to the door, you pound it open and it finally budges and you get out into the world. And I need every one of you to roll a sanity check one more time.
Oh, I have a very good brain.
Look at you,
boy.
Gabriella, you lose 2 sanity still.
I don't.
I fail.
Success!
So Finley, you lose 2 sanity as well. And Charlene and Frederica, go ahead and roll me a d10 plus 2. Wow.
Okay, that's just 4.
Never tell you the odds. Ooh. All right.
Ouch.
Woo!
So I lose another 4 sanity.
As you get out of here, you flee into the night, and you do not look back. You have the sense of terror that just washes over you. You run 4 minutes away from here.
Okay, cool.
That's a lot of sprinting.
When the fear finally evaporates, you stand still in a burning city. You look all around, and none of this destruction compares to the thing that you just saw come out of the depths, or the dead families, or the murder that you witnessed.
Yeah.
London is burning around you, and you are not even afraid of it. You're afraid of what was beneath, what was beyond that crumbling veil.
They're probably looking around and just start just doing that
Okay.
sort of laughter.
I didn't want to give you the satisfaction.
I didn't want to give it to you, damn it.
It's because that's the thing that I love doing that. Like the title of the thing in the thing gets me every time.
It was great. Yeah, no. Yeah, Freddy's just 4 minutes away, which is probably a good 4 or 5 blocks. Just maniacally laughing at the destruction around them to keep from crying.
Charlene's absolutely well, Lizzie is absolutely shaking. She still hates the name Charlene. Just shaking, terrified, freaked out, not having a good day, probably crying.
And I'm away from you all, so you have no idea where Freddy went. Freddy just yeet.
No, we don't.
Okay.
What's going on?
So this is all not new to me. Whatever the name, I don't really want to say, the entity that is in charge of whatever those creatures are, took my memories, and in talking with Finley, I got them back, but it was a little too much, and I think one of the entities took over me and caused that damage. We're facing something that's not physical. It can affect your mind, and it's hurt lots of other people. Before, I can't even pretend that we stopped it, but we did it. We made a dent. Deckard and
Oh, god damn it.
and I start to think back. I'm like, where's everybody else, right? Because I was split up from everybody. Victoria and Father Blackwell.
Wait, you know Blackwell?
Yes. One of my best friends.
Do you know where the hell he's been?
It's been missing.
Oh,
No, the last I saw, we all left the
Damn it.
forest together, but we all ended up in different places. I don't know where he is.
I bet he would know what happened to Dad.
You would know what happened to Father Blackwell.
And then, as for your father, was it?
Yes.
As far as I know, very deceased. Something that looked like him was walking around, and I can't even say pretending, but laying out his last will and testament as him, unless it was a different skeleton, but it was his bedroom.
Was his lawyer not there?
Laura was there, and then was, strung up from the ceiling.
Have I seen his lawyer since then?
Nope.
Well, that explains why I haven't been able to find him either. I haven't been able to find anyone.
I'm really glad you're taking all of this at face value. Seeing the monsters help, because otherwise I sound like I've done a bunch of murders and I'm covering it up by pretending that there's magic monsters. And like there's a moment and Gabriella's like, oh, I sound like him.
You've become the very thing you sought to destroy.
Finley just gives you a sympathetic look. It's
I worked so hard to be the skeptic,
It's
and now
okay.
I'm the one with all the information. I hate it.
I love this arc.
That's called season-long growth.
This is
Alrighty.
called a character arc.
As you guys are in the open air, you hear a maniacal laugh a street down, and the silence of a burning city.
Hmm.
And it sounds like Freddy.
Oh, we should probably go check on her.
Yes.
From a distance.
A very safe distance. Do you still have your gun?
I have mine.
Yes, she actually gave it back to me as I checked to make sure I still
Yeah,
had
I pull out mine. I'm glad I pulled out the knife instead of the...
Okay. Good. Let's go check on our friend with the
I was gonna
mice.
say...
They never introduced themselves.
You know what? I'll ask about the mice later.
I really don't like that our names are known. I say as we were talking.
Right down to my dog.
When you're going up against someone that knows more about you than you know about them, that's bad. You don't do that. You run away. Somewhere that they wouldn't expect you to go.
That's the ideal way to handle it, but it appears we do not have that option for ourselves.
The city's on fire. Where could we even run?
Away from London. See if there's any part of this world that's not on fire. Don't have much because I guess whatever took over my father gave away the entirety of my inheritance. The only upside is my brother didn't get anything either, pompous asshole.
Wait, sorry, your inherit... You had an inheritance!
I mean, I assumed I was gonna get something. We didn't get along, but I didn't think
I mean,
he would.
everything... we were all offered... And, like, I'm trying to walk this line where I'm like, I did not take the fungi version of your father's money to settle my gambling debts. I'm trying to walk that line. Well, we were all offered different things, so I'm sure if you had been there, you would have been offered something specific.
I don't know. I feel like I missed something. That's probably my own fault anyway. And probably my brother's too, though he's probably going to blame me for whatever the hell happened. Knowing him, if he can prove I was in London anywhere near the time, which I wasn't.
Are you Gabriella Slaughter? You see a large man in an alley off to the side.
It seems we're not the only people wandering around in hell. Regrettably, yes, that is me. Please don't try anything funny. We've had a very difficult last 10 minutes.
You're the one Father Blackwell sent me to find.
Oh, thank God. Yes, sure. Does he have a message?
You'll know in time. Take this.
That sounds exactly like Blackwell.
Yep, sure does. And what is it, like a package?
Yes. And as he hands it to you, you look up and he's gone.
Oh. They are quite good at doing that.
It's at this point that you get up to the maniacal laughter of a very insane Freddy.
This is
Mhm.
been like a 4 or 5 minute conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freddy's probably just on the ground, like sitting there very quietly, laughing but crying.
Hey, lady with the mice. Everything okay?
It's on fire. It's time.
You see the mice get out of the pocket as she's doing this. One of them grabs a piece of cloth and then starts like dabbing her forehead, and then the other is just like holding her hands in its little paws, and then the other one looks almost like it's on its knees praying.
Wait, they hang on.
I'm suspicious at these mice.
What the hell is
I don't like
going
it.
on with these mice?
Why are they so smart?
Huh? I saw you cheeky buggers leave. When the fuck did you get back in my pocket?
They all kind of stop what they're doing, shrug at you, and go back to doing what they're doing.
Takes the cloth. Alright, thank.
Can
Oh,
I
no.
roll a cult to see if I have any? Wait, hang on. Let me remind myself.
Yeah,
Never mind. Charlie doesn't know anything about the occult.
Freddy does though, and she's a little concerned.
Okay, Freddy, if you want to roll a cult, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, yeah, she's a little concerned about these things. Oh, nice.
From the feel of them, there's nothing really occult about them. They're just mice. And they seem to be caring about you.
She'll lift up Charlemagne, just peer at him,
He just kind of looks at you a little scared.
just sighs. Alright, thank you. Just puts a little kiss on his tiny little furry forehead and sets him down.
And he looks at the other mice, looks back at you, and then just they run off in a direction.
Which way are you go? Okay. Do we follow? Sure, we follow the mice.
They turn and look to see if you guys are following.
Follow the mice, apparently.
Okay, what did you get from Blackwell?
I open up the package as we're walking and following the mice through what I assume is like a really smoky, fiery like haze as everybody's like starting to figure out how to come back outside.
The odd thing is that no one's come outside. The Aryan sirens are still going, but you don't
Oh,
see
that
any.
makes sense.
You don't see any bombers.
Oh, that's worse.
Oh, hey, we are actually in hell. Great.
Cool.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to Avarice, actually. Anyways, well, you open up the package and it's sealed in kind of like this manila paper baggish sort of thing. As you open it, inside you see what looks to be a letter, tickets, and a few bits and bops that don't really make sense. One is a feather. One is looks like a piece of straw, and the other one's a hat. It's like a St. Nicholas hat,
Oh,
but it's like small.
not what I was expecting. I suppose I'll open the letter once we get to some shelter.
Alright, speaking of, you're Lizzie, you said. You're
Yes.
Gabriella Slaughter. He's Finley?
Yep, Finley Lazarus.
What do we call you?
Right. Just keeps walking. Following the mice.
What is the deal with your mice?
Oh, no, just met him yesterday.
Actually, you met them earlier today.
Following them, why?
Or earlier today. Cheeky smart buggers.
Okay.
You got the question, big man?
What do you do in London? What do you do around here?
Me? Oh, I procure the finest antiquities.
Lizzie perks up at this a little bit.
Yeah, I think Lizzie understands the code that Freddy's putting down with the emphasis on. As a procurer of the finest antiquities you can find on this side of London.
That's fascinating. I also have a knack for finding fine and hard to get things. I wonder if we know any people in common.
Maybe. We can compare lists to names.
I would love to do some shopping once we figure all this out. You all seem like lovely companions to talk to. I'm just trying to really keep it together right now.
Gabriella completely missing the subtext of the conversation.
Yeah, no. Like, Gabriella's not here for subtext. That's for cowards.
Listen, we're getting to the roommates arc. We just have to survive.
No, yeah, of course. I mean, I say laughing because Gabriella is a Jungian psychoanalyst, which is even funnier that Gabriella refuses to pick up subtext in this moment.
I appreciate.
We're all distracted. I think like Lizzie and Freddie are just trying to here's something normal we can talk about.
The mice lead you guys back towards Gabriella's apartment. Back the way you guys came, but you guys had to go through like a couple alleys. Apparently they don't know how to take the streets.
Wait, why are they taking us back to your apartment? Completely forgetting I have no reason to know where your apartment is.
Finley,
Yes.
what languages do you speak?
German, French, and English. Well, of course, in English.
You hear sounds that to the rest of the party don't make sense and don't process quick enough. You, on the other hand, hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You hear, "They must be around here somewhere. We must find them and kill them. We can't have anybody knowing what we unleashed."
Finley is going to stop the group. Oh, and look at those mice like, oh, you little bastards.
The mice are actually taking cover right now. And
Oh, follow the mice's lead.
you guys stop, and just in time to miss a small detail of black uniforms that pass you.
I take it there was more than just monsters you encountered, Miss Gabrielle?
Oh, right. There were the Nazis, but one of them got consumed by, like, horrible nightmares, and most of the other ones were shot. Why?
I do believe there are some more, and they're actively looking for you, and maybe...
Great!
And because you've told us as well. This is just great.
I do not... Look, yours is fine people. I ain't looking to get involved with this war bullshit. It's already bad enough in the business.
I think you're all very involved whether you want to be or not. I know your name.
It only knew me last name. That's easily changed.
All things considered, the last time they were involved, things got very dicey for everyone, because, shocker, whatever this nightmare stuff we're dealing with is, they're not great at either, so most of the time they make things worse.
Like you just said. Shocker. Of course, they just make things worse.
Yeah, so if they're at my home, but the mice want us to go like, what's the I can't believe I'm talking to mice. What's the plan here?
They just, all three of them look at you, and they start to try and pantomime things. Go ahead and roll me, spot hidden. Anybody who wants to try and play charades with mice.
Happily.
Sure.
I'm gonna use luck because I refuse.
I need an extreme success.
Do I get a bonus because they're my mice?
Oh, okay, in that case, there's no point in luck then.
No one understands mice trades. Shocker.
I mean, I got a success.
You would be the most likely to.
I'll give you a bonus on that.
Yeah, because they're my mice.
None of you really understand what they're saying. Freddy, you understand them the most out of everybody. Everybody else, this is just like, they might as well be performing Shakespeare for you.
Yeah, I think Freddy squats down, does that, like, baseball pose of, like, hands on knees, is just watching them intently.
The mice, to you, enact. It's almost like a 3-act play in, like, 2 to 3 minutes, to where you see one of them is pretending to be, like, this chair, and then the other one is laid on the chair, and you see this other one just, like, pounding its fist into its hand as the other one is like shaking in the chair. And then the second act is where the mice are being chased by the one that's like pounding its fist as the other two are like just being chased around by it, until finally the third act, you see one come up, it grabs a dollar bill from you, and this is the part that gets a little confusing from you. All right, grabs like whatever the equivalent of like a dollar bill of this time is.
A pound, I
Yeah,
think.
like 1 pound. And then it's just like it's walking around town as if it's a person. And then the other two grab the note from the other one and start running around until they go down into what looks to be some sort of building. And then one of them starts shambling around, and then everybody scatters. And then they all bow.
Alright, right. So, okay, if I got you right, what did I name them? Shit. Charlemagne, Lawrence, and Mortimer. There we go. Right, if I got you right, Mortimer, you're saying Hughes was playing Gabrielle, sitting in the chair, being beaten up by whatever this entity is, and then we're all running away from it, and now we're supposed to go back down there and face the thing? He wants to go back.
They all slap their faces.
Were they trying to tell you what to do, or were they trying to tell you what happened?
They look at each other and they put up a 2 fingers each.
Okay, I still didn't get anything of what they did, but...
It's about what happened with me. I got woken up by a knock on the door after looking at a thing, and apparently some arsehole named Father Blackwell put in an insurance claim for me, and now I'm richer than God. And I need to go deposit the damn thing.
Where the hell has Blackwell been all this time? Ugh.
Also, you know what? It's actually probably fair that Blackwell did not give me a vast sum of money.
Well, to be fair, my business burned.
Oh, well, yeah, then sounds like you needed the insurance money.
So the mice look up at you guys. They just all shake their heads and they start as the black uniforms pass. They run into Gabriella's apartment.
I guess we follow the mice.
I'd rather not have Nazis rooting around in my apartment.
Yeah, they either root around you here, love, or we at least have a place to ambush them.
Yeah, how many of them are there? Because I know the layout of my apartment pretty well.
You see, it's 10 of them have just run from your apartment building.
That is a lot of them.
As you guys get up to the door, you hear what sounds to a lot of commotion inside, and then bullets fire, and then bullets stop. And then the door opens and the mice are standing over a dead body of a black uniform.
Oh, these mice scared the hell out of me.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, but...
Did you all do that?
So...
I don't think these are regular mice.
No, really.
They shake their heads no.
What was your first clue?
Yeah, well, you know...
Right, good job, lads. Help me search the pockets.
I just sit down in like one of my cushion chairs and just like, all things considered, having fun little mice that can murder people on our side for once is a nice change of pace compared to last time where it felt like I was running nonstop. It's downright whimsical.
Mice nod and then start heading upstairs.
Whimsical, I tell you.
Would you like to take the gun off of the corpse?
Yep. Is there any sort of orders paperwork or any identifying insignia as to which unit these arseholes are part of?
You find that the insignia is that of the SS.
Oh. And it's the not fun. Well, yeah, none of them were.
If there could have been a worse in Nazi Germany, you found it.
Sighs, puts the gun just on the way. Make sure to just stomp on the face and head up the stairs.
I think we're following along, and Lizzie might turn to Finley. So, Mr. Lazarus, what do you know about what's going on here?
From I know exactly from what my grandfather was sending in his letters, I thought it was all just a bunch of gibberish. Apparently it's not. It does appear that they've made some kind of like interactions with some kind of monster, I presume. Is this correct, Miss Gabriella?
Yes, they were trying to make a deal with the entity before. It didn't work out great for them.
Of course not.
That's why we're in year 2 of this war.
Of course.
Yeah, I suppose the plan was to end the war early with like a nightmare magical entity thing. I don't even know where to begin. I was the skeptic of our group before all this went down.
And do you think this entity of people connected to it are the ones that killed my father?
Yeah, the calling card for it is fungi. And sometimes dogs, but not Bosco kind, like horrible kind. I don't know much about what you all described with my possession, though. That is new, I think.
And you get to the 2nd floor, and then the 3rd floor. And you open the door to your apartment, Gabriella. No one's in there. It's completely empty. You go room to room, and you find nothing. The DM is telling you that you are in a safe space.
Cool. I go to my safe, and
Great.
I grab some cash and like some supplies, and I pack a little bag.
Lizzie will at some point pull you inside and say, "Oh, by the way, I know a better way to tell you this. I think your neighbor's spying on your therapy sessions. Upstairs, neighbor."
Oh, that's deeply unethical. And after all that, she spied on me. How rude.
Does Gabrielle have like beer in her fridge?
Yeah, and the mice are already drinking.
Yeah.
Freddie goes and grabs one as well, pops the cap off, and just hops
Oh, no,
in
just
his seat
help
and
yourself.
just does the traditional bisexual, 2 legs over and then leaning on it and just, right, good on you, love, thanks, and just starts drinking.
Finley is just actively studying these mice.
Deckard would have had a field day with these mice.
Open my letter while everyone is resting a little bit.
And Freddie will cheers with the mice, just like lean down, clink, and then go back to it.
As you read the letter, Gabriella, you see it is scribbled in... It's hard to read. It is just chicken scratch writing that you are struggling so hard to figure out. It seems like it's trying to write something long-winded and important, and then it just stops with the words being close together as if it was a sentence, and then goes to follow tickets to, and then the next word is unintelligible.
Follow tickets.
And one of the mice is standing right in front of you, looking straight up at you.
I look down. Can I help you?
It does the cross that you see priests do with a blessing.
Ah. Wait.
And then it runs off and joins its friends.
There's this
Wait,
moment where like
Panic made a connection.
Gabriella's entire body just tenses up. And it's like, if you're telling me that my friend has been turned into a mouse, I'm going to lose my mind even more.
I do believe your friend has been turned into a mouse.
Don't speak it into... No.
Wait. Hold up. Mortimer over there is a priest?
Maybe? I don't want to believe it. That's... Father Blackwell, did you, like, fight a witch?
As you say the name, the mouse turns and looks at you.
Oh, no! I knew it!
Did you get into combat with, like a fairy tale what is this?
Is that what you... What?
The mouse just shrugs.
Holy shit, I've been swaying around a priest. Sorry, Father.
It does the blessing cross one more time.
You don't have to apologize. I swear around him all the time. That's not the point. You're a mouse. Oh god, I look at the other mouse. Victoria?
It shakes its head.
Oh, thank goodness.
Let's see, you are people, and now you're mice.
Finley's just like, Grandpa?
It shakes its head.
Oh, thank
Oh,
God.
Person I'm looking for, I would ask, but she's dead. So, I've seen her corpse, so I can do the guessing game. No offense, Father.
Sorry to hear about that.
That's fine.
So yeah. Father Blackwell is a mouse.
That is amazing.
Freddy, upon hearing all this, would like grab a scrap of paper and like try and break off a piece of charcoal small enough for like mice hands and hand it to the other two.
Do little notes.
Write your names, I guess.
And the names mean nothing to all of you. Mortimer is father, Lawrence, his name was James, and then the George.
Right, so Father, James, George. Okay, good to know. Sorry for calling your wrong name, gents.
They all kind of just like bow as if like none taken.
Back to something a little less sweet. Gabrielle, how did you come to know my father?
We had an acquaintanceship over the course of study, mostly. I never saw him directly as one of my clients, but I did since, and I knew of him through letters mostly. And eventually I was invited to a will reading, which seemed odd to me at the time, but I was in dire straits, and if I was going to be receiving a gift from a friend, well, it certainly would have been useful at the time. I don't even know if I ever got to meet him in person. I don't think your father that I met was ever him at all.
So how long had you been corresponding? How did he seem before that?
It had been a few months. If anything, it seemed his life was getting a lot scarier, worse. He kept dealing with people that I now know to be part of Greenwheel. He created some sort of animosity between himself and them due to some ancient tree in his backyard that he cut down.
Moral of the story, don't cut down trees.
Yeah, no, the tree was super duper evil.
Just leave trees alone.
You hear the uniforms coming around, and you hear the door open downstairs, but you never hear anybody go upstairs. They just seem to go out into the back, and you see them go down into the air raid shelter.
They're going after that thing?
Yeah, if the monster's in there, they should come out screaming, right?
That or what's that, boss? You know, go report lost the people saw it.
Yeah, you would think.
I don't suppose it's too much to hope that they drastically underestimated what they're dealing with. I know that doesn't make me feel much better, but I'd like something to go our way for once.
As much as I wish it, a lot of time.
I mean, we got some pretty magical mice people.
You see Father Blackwell stand up on the windowsill in front of you, Gabriella, and then point down to the air raid shelter and do kind of a, you know, that hand motion where your hand is at your neck, just kind of doing like a, no, don't do that.
Like, don't go in there? Yeah, no.
You see him point to the tickets in your hand.
And what did the tickets say?
They take you out into the countryside of Scotland, right outside of Edinburgh.
Okay. So you want us to go there, not into the nightmare hole?
It nods.
I can't really argue with that. How's about a trip, everyone?
Good, I wasn't about to do that.
You can feel free to leave, obviously. I don't want to hold you to, any of this, but I have a feeling that the agents of the entity will find you no matter what, and if there's one thing we learned during my first go-around at this, it's that there was strength in numbers.
Right, well, don't got much here for me, so... And these little buggers have been pretty reliable so far, so... Might as well. Though I think we can all use a bit of a rest before going, probably.
My contacts are only so helpful without my friend there being back the way he is when it comes to dealing with stuff like this. I do have other contacts if we need, an easy way to get out of the city, or...
Oh, you mean papers?
Oh, that and indirect routes, ways to go, underground routes. If we're being hunted.
Right. I mean, if we're talking papers, that ain't too hard.
Well, it's at this point that the air raid sirens go off, and you see people around the city start to return to the streets. But you don't see the uniforms again. And you don't see the shambling Hulk anywhere either.
So we need to disappear before the authorities come to arrest you for murder.
Right! I did that. Again, not me doing it. Something... My body was not my own.
I mean, technically, all the witnesses is dead, ain't they?
Oh, right, the families.
Besides us.
True.
Oh.
But it's probably good to give you, a new name. Let's see. What kind of papers you got in here that we can work with? Make it look official.
Father Blackwell points at the ticket, and you see that you have an hour to get to the train.
Didn't really leave us much time for chit-chat, did you, Father?
He shakes his head.
Well, we'll figure out how to unmouse you, hopefully. Actually, I have no idea. It might be a permanent state of affairs, in which case that is unfortunate.
He pantomimes just like, oh well. He looks up and points to the sky, and then points to himself, and then motions to everybody. And it's just, you have no idea what he's saying, but at the same time, it's really adorable.
Look, I mean, you can say, God's will and all that bullshit, but really...
I appreciate
really,
your acceptance, Father.
Really.
Alright, let's head over then. Feel free to grab anything from my home. I don't think I'll be back here for a little bit. Or if I do end up here tomorrow, with my memory gone, then I'll be upset that my beer's missing, but I won't really think much of it.
You see James and George have been really quiet. You see them come out of the kitchen with oil that they are just dumping all over the ground, and one of them has a box of matches in its hand.
Oh. Love when I'm not fine, and I grab a book of my notes and like 2 or 3 things that I can't live without. I guess we're just losing my home.
Freddy goes to pick up the matches. George is holding onto them tight and it's just like dangling and just very gently puts them on. Look, I appreciate it, mate, but yours is tiny. These are kind of big people matches, so I promise I will do it right. This ain't my first run.
Father Blackwell climbs up your leg, up your body, and then up your arms, and then like slaps George across the face.
Father!
So we're not lighting my home on fire. I just like have a pile of notes.
You come out of your room with all these notes, and you see Father Blackwell scolding James and George, and they're having like a squeaking conversation.
I just throw the papers in the safe. The safe's fireproof at least. I'll just close that.
Lizzie comes out of your closet and just hands you a bag.
So to be clear, you three, am I lighting this place or am I not lighting this place?
Father Blackwell looks at the other 2 mice, hangs his head, and nods at you.
Okay, alright, so you gets out first because you're tinier and it's going to take you a minute. Just sets them very gently down. It just motions for everybody else to follow the mice.
I'll give a last look to my office. It was a nice space.
The last thing in the file, you find a check titled "For New Apartment."
I really thought of everything, even as a little mouse.
How does he know? I could never figure that out.
He's really good at it.
You see him stop at the door, he turns, and he looks at you, and then he points to his head.
Thought he was going to point
and
up.
then runs off.
Which would have also been a valid answer, yeah.
Right.
He points up.
Yeah.
We'll go with he
That's
points
perfect.
up. I like that
Yeah.
better.
I still don't buy that. Lizzie says she follows out. Men of Faith don't usually hire people to steal things.
Grab Bosco, like his favorite bone before we leave.
George is still on your shoulder, Freddy.
Yeah, okay, well, good job, George. Alright. She'll make sure Finley gets out.
He stops you for a second. He points to the oil. He points it, and he like tugs your ear towards the door. To where you're looking at the landing. He points down. And then he makes kind of like an explosive gesture with his hands.
Right, so run. Got it.
He nods.
Okay. And she lights 3 matches and books it and yells, "Alright, run! It's gonna explode!"
You see, out of what seems to just be nothingness, a stick of dynamite in this mouse's hand that it throws into the room.
She's just, where the fuck were you hiding that? You gotta teach me.
I need you to roll a sanity check, actually.
Oh no. I succeeded!
Alright, you see this mouse use magic, and it does not faze you whatsoever.
Oh, you gotta teach me that, mate.
Alright, and you run out of the house, just long enough for that fuse to go off, and then an explosion come from Gabriella's apartment.
Should kind of look over at George. Right, did you all do the stove too? Because that's the only way I can think of, plus that.
The ceiling caves in to the apartment, and it looks like a bomb went off up there.
When did you cheeky bastards have time to do that? You're the best. Really need to take you on jobs.
We need to disappear soon. Quickly.
Train station.
Yes. Been meaning to get down to London anyway.
Freddie waved him to Gabrielle. Right, sorry, you look like you were about to say something? Sorry about the...
There's just a lot happening. Don't have much of a home, and my best friend's a mouse. And feels weird to say, but I miss the other people. I hope they're okay.
You survived, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you guys continue running to the train station. And you see a lot of people are trying to get tickets and everything. And you run up to the guy who's got the unfortunate task of trying to keep the masses out as they're trying to escape into the countryside. He's like, tickets. You can't get past here if you don't got tickets.
Do we have enough tickets?
Yes, you do. You have exactly enough.
Look at that.
I have so many questions for Blackwell.
Give me a little piece of chocolate.
Yeah.
The mice hide in each one of y'all's shirts. And then you see that on one of the tickets there's permission for a dog. Right, you'll be in the back cot over there, the royal one. Do you have any luggage you'd like to declare?
There was a time my mom hit me, as we take.
Like luggage, not baggage.
Oh, God.
That went over my head, Fennec.
We have a therapist in the group. I gotta at least make one trauma joke.
No, this is perfect.
Lizzie probably got used to carrying a bag, basically the equivalent of a go bag with her since she got back to London, just in case she needed to disappear. So she has her bag, and then there's that bag that she packed for you, Gabriella.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I would say Freddie probably has a messenger bag, like this, just odds and ends of certain tools and what have you.
So we have bags, just not luggage. And we certainly have baggage.
Oh, yeah, we do.
If you don't mind, go ahead and start heading for the royal cart, and your attendant will be with you as we take off.
Right, Governor. Thanks. Good job.
Certainly, and best of luck.
Thanks. Alright, tickets! And he goes back to doing his job. You guys board, and you guys see a fight break out among the people at the station. That is stopped by the police coming in, solving the issue as the train rolls off. Sun starts to set behind you as you're leaving London. You start heading east for a moment, and then straight north to Scotland.
You have been listening to Beyond the Crumbling Veil, a Call of Cthulhu 7e actual play podcast by Styx Helix Productions as part of Pseudonym Social, a creative podcast network changing reality one story at a time. If you're enjoying this show, please consider leaving us a review on iTunes or Podchaser or wherever you're listening to help other people find this lovely spooky tale. Beyond the Crumbling Veil is DM'd by John Voman of Styx Helix Productions, with Brian as Finley Yeager Lazarus, Ian Ramos as Gabriella Slaughter, Fennec Foxfire as Frederica Newman, and Brianna Jean as Charlene Elizabeth Amesley. The show is also produced by Brianna Jean. If you don't want to wait to find out what happens next, you can get early access to our episodes by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/pseudonymsocial. You can also find out more information about our other shows at pseudonymsocial.com and support our various productions.